most cases, the seller enters the relationship in a weaker power position than the buyer, because the buyer has alternatives. One of those alternatives is to do nothing. They always have that alternative. One of the alternatives is to do it themselves. They could do it in-house. Then they have all the different competitors out there. They could do things in different configurations. They could choose different ways of doing things, but they have different alternatives. That gives them power. What I'm doing through the sales process is I'm trying to build motivation. I want you to be motivated to do business with me. I'm using the relationship to do that. At the same time, I'm asking questions. I'm uncovering problems and issues and alternatives. I'm finding out what it is that you want. I'm able to look at even things my competitors offer and ask questions that show you that those things aren't bright as shiny as they might be. My goal is to reduce the number of perceived alternatives that the buyer has, right, while increasing the individual stakeholders' motivation to do business with me. In the middle of all this is something called leverage. Leverage is anything that you have that someone else wants that you're able to use to bend their behavior in a way that you want their behavior to bend. This is important because in most cases, the buyer has more power. Use leverage to put yourself in the power position, because when the buyer has alternatives, they say to the seller, I don't really want to go through all these steps in your sales process. Just give me your prices. I don't want to go in these steps in the sales process. Just give me your information. And in most cases, the salespeople dance. And if you have an empty pipeline, you are definitely dancing, like you're break dancing for them because you think since they have the power that you have to dance to their tune. What really good salespeople do, and this is the art, like this is the symphony of selling. I get that you have all this power, but I got information that you want. You want my prices, you want my proposal, you want my free consulting, you want those things. And I'm willing to give you those things, except for you got to pay a price for it. I never give my leverage away for free. Now, that's not how they say it. They say, Jim, I totally get that you want to see my prices. And most of my competitors are happy to give you prices because they have a box and they force all their customers to fit into the same box. But Jim, that's not how I do business. The thing is I recognize that each of my customers is unique and different, and all of their situations are different. So for me to give you a proposal of what you're looking for, I need to get to know you better. And all I'm looking for is just to spend a little bit of time asking you some questions, making sure I truly understand your goals, understand your operations, understand how you do things. And then I'm going to come back with a blueprint for exactly how we would serve your company, give you some prices that you can work with, because at the end of the day, we're going to build the box around you. And so I'm only going to need about 30 minutes, and I'm going to need that next week to come walk through your plant. And then I shut up. And no one ever says no, because that makes sense. I bend them back to my sales process. And I talked about this in Sales EQ as well. That's what I'm trying to do. I need to get them back to my sales process so I can work the sales process, engineering the relationship, which allows me to connect with the individual stakeholders, answering their 5 most important questions. Do I like you? Do you listen to me? Do you make me feel important? Do you get me in my problems? Do I trust and believe you? When I answer those questions in the affirmative, they're much more willing to dump the other alternatives and do business with me.